We're talking about mental health summit. We'll be having it this Saturday at 3 p.m. at the church.
Everyone, and thank y'all for having me. I appreciate everything you do, Pastor Moore, for our community. Cousin Sis Rita, I appreciate y'all so much for everything. You always stand up to help our community in many different ways. There are some things that have occurred within our community, some conversations that have come up. Over the last few years, there's been conversations with groups of women that I've had. And when I say groups, I mean large groups of women, where women are, conversing about the trauma, the displacement. We were all impacted by the war. Yes, I grew up here, but I lost a lot of family members in the war. A lot of family members were displaced here in the United States and throughout Europe. With that being the case, a couple of our men in the community, and I stress the men because we're afraid men are not going to show up. They have things planned to focus on our mental health, our mental wellness. We have young people who are involved in the efforts to get this going, to have these open conversations. We are very prideful. We're very private people. If you don't want to speak out loud, you don't want to say anything, please just come and obtain the information. The other piece behind this isn't just the mental health aspect of things, it's also to obtain some information as to what's going on with things with our young people. The issues with opioids in our community, it's impacting us across the country. Whether people are ordering their medications online because they don't have health care or cannot afford their medications, we have to be knowledgeable as to what's coming through across the border, whether it's from Canada, whether it's from Mexico, or wherever it is. It's not just the illegal drug use. People are being poisoned by fentanyl because it is in certain medications that are coming across, even as innocent as your behavior may be. So this isn't just about people who we may see, having an issue with substance use disorder or who are abusing any drugs. There's a lot of information that we're trying to get out to our community. I've been in the field for almost 30 years, and there's a lot of us in our own community that are healthcare providers that work in mental health and work in the same treatment space. Please utilize your community for what it is, what it's for, what we have, what we possess. Some people reach out when they need help. We have domestic violence in our community. Some of our kids, we have experienced suicides in our community. These things need to be addressed and not swept under the rug and act like it doesn't impact us. Even though it's someone else's household, it's our community. We have to stay abreast of these things. We have to understand the signs and symptoms, and we also need to understand what resources are available to you. Whether you reach out to us within the community or within the greater Harris County, Texas, or wherever you may be located. So please take it for what it is. Please attend. It's for men and women and our young people.
Miller, growing up back from Africa, we see certain things that this person is crazy, this person is cracking, but there are other issues someone is facing. So, what are some of the you can't go in depth or detail or right, but what are some of the samples or things people need to be aware of?
I do know that there's an agenda that we put together, and it's breaking down signs and symptoms, understanding, number one, what anxiety and depression are. Everybody feels anxious at certain points, whether it's a new job or whether it's stress. Understanding depression, we understand grief and loss. That's going to be one of the topics. There's a difference between experiencing grief and loss, and there's a difference between clinical anxiety and depression and mood disorders. There's also going to be information on, taking a look at signs and symptoms of what could be going on with your young people. Some people seem to think, oh, my kid just tried weed. No, we have to talk about what that means, where it could go, where it could lead, and also what they could have their hands on. There's also issues with vaping. A friend of mine, even though it wasn't her daughter's, her daughter broke down and just cried not long ago. She had a vape in her room that one of her friends brought over and left. My friend picked it up. The thing tasted like candy, like Skittles. Those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about to give our community the education that's needed. Some of the other pieces that are going to come up are based on the conversations we've had within our community of what some folks have been experiencing themselves. We are not going to bring people's private information out, but we will bring up key points that have been coming out through conversations within our own community here in the Houston area.
Encourage you and challenge you to come here this Saturday at 3 p.m. Please be on time. We have a lot to cover. I know that. In Jesus' mighty. My sister, thank you. We appreciate the effort. Amen. So right in our community, we have all these resources. We need to step up to the plate. God bless you. God